special topic you're going to discuss. We're going to discuss about Paul Adom Otchere ne ho aka because wakoka asembia to Dr. Tony Aubynn so Dr. Tony Aubynn esan mranim ni enti waye na dwen se nyaade a obeja ya ma Paul Adom Otchere ede nanim atwitwi form. That is something I really like about Dr. Tony Aubynn. Waye adwuma na ma in fact many aje Dr. Tony Aubynn has been one of the key NDC members Kemfani Niagro NDC for ewa adwuma ye enti senia mokano saana ese no NDC for yewo adwuma eye because Paul Adom Otchere is becoming one of the few journalists in Ghana ase nkwasi asem kan ye ne de kakra okasa omie ho o keka nsem na basa utimi accuse obi no akofa nima bi che se ne utimi se ade papa ye obi ho a won hyeda ntiase but that is something that why na be say ono oye edi egu obi ho efi but Dr. Tony odi achense dabi Dr. Tony Aubynn, sorry, actually say enyade a obetenase ama odi nanim atwitwi fom. Ebiem so me do be Metro TV, Good Morning Ghana, and then live on the show, armed policemen storming Metro. Eyo ma gbe some person mo bowuram ne yakwa koduso so akohwe se din potin ene de sa ansem no nyina ekọ so that is something eya be ka ho e Ghana. Ghana ye ya te say school na yakọ no apply school no as Jimmy nko an yete wa as ye Jimmy e wo man no.
Eni mo say school wo empopa Jimmy, what Jimmy e wa Jimmy.
All right, inti em fa ho say wa Jimmy wa ko school ye lawyer we dey wa Jimmy. That is something as a Ghana ye. Police for so me ya ho say Ghana police so ni here so be mo kwens kakra bi. And also man no mu di wachi. Whatever they tell them to go and do no, omo apply common sense. That is something we also need to discuss. And a court so am a judgment between Ghana court system so no. Mo your problem people. Unti sa ne mani nyana moving forward and see me addresses sa ne we nyina man no na yes say no. Man no and yes say no. Na sani American na Dr. Tony Aubynn. But Dr. Tony Aubynn there is my good friend. I like Dr. Tony Aubynn because you Dr. Tony Aubynn. Dr. Tony Aubynn actually na you in Finland. Answer na owie school Dr. Eko Ghana akobo adwuma. Na Dr. Tony Aubynn na me no ka say oyo hene. Osan a lawyer or mranim ni Dr. Enyini Paketo. Before I know Dr. Tony Aubynn together with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia against the NPP, no much about international conferences that we need to meet there. So I know Dr. Tony Aubynn very well. He's a perfect gentleman. Dr. Nkasakwa. So I was shocked to say Paul Adom Otchere, it's me tina TV, so ASC or good Dr. Tony Aubynn anymase. But you could see clearly from Paul Adom Otchere say, I say, what targeting Dr. Tony Aubynn as a person. Sa de no dwen ho a onti ase. Me pa chaw yenko na yenhwe that particular video Paul Adom Otchere eyeti a Dr. Tony Aubynn.
The Bar Association condemns and not done press statements. I believe the MPP condemns and not done press statements. And not done press is just a statement. He ought to be cautioned. Tony Aubynn was directly urging the people to go and do galamsey. Civil society said they have not heard it because he's a member of the opposition. Because all civil society are opposition and everybody doesn't like Akufo-Addo because Akufo-Addo is this, Akufo-Addo is that. He thinks his father was president. He thinks he knows. He thinks. The man won 1 million votes. You were sitting down. Did you win 1 million votes with him? You were sitting down. And somehow, because of hatred for Akufo-Addo, they don't want to mention Tony Aubynn. Is that how to develop a country? Is that how to build a country? We can't build a country like that. Let's build a country with honesty. All of those who call themselves leaders, we are news reporters. We are not leaders. We are news reporters. We are here to report the story. And we are here to look at the thesis, the synthesis, the antithesis. And we shall never renege on that. If you look at the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis of galamsey, this man should be called out by everybody who is looking at the analysis correctly. How can a man like this, a very important person in the mining sector, a lawyer, go and stand and tell galamsey people that if we win the election, you can come and continue your galamsey. And then Ghana Water comes to complain about galamsey, and the first person they talk about is the lands minister. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? This is the problem with our civil society people. Those who say they are civil society, this is the problem. This is the problem. The pastors who are talking about galamsey, the most Reverend Ajanasari. Have you heard Tony Aubynn? He's a member of the party that you sympathize with. And there's no problem with a pastor sympathizing with any political party. Even America's pastor, Billy Graham, sympathized with the Republican Party. So there's no problem with that. But if you are a pastor, you are sympathizing with a political party, you ought to know that your integrity is first. In terms of the analysis, maybe Adom hasn't heard it. I can understand that. He's a pastor, he's busy, he's managing a big church. Maybe he hasn't heard it. But now we've played the video, you've seen it. Tony Aubynn, that's what he told. Play the video for me again. And Tony Aubynn is the second speaker. Play the video again.
You watched Dr. Tony Aubynn's picture. Paul Adom Otchere at their Tony screen so. I know say wow you might be wondering say Dr. Tony Aubynn on the way. On any papa gentleman and not Paul Adom Otchere then Tony picture so the screen so. Enti Paul Adom Otchere nanka say be catch say Obey video Dr. Tony Aubynn insert time for say megalem say enti pa chop video na say Dr. Tony Aubynn in a gina hono and I say na ni pa foforo bi. That is something I want us to address. I'm going to show you the picture. You will see, say, Paul Adom Otchere. I show Dr. Tony Aubynn picture clear. And this is Paul Adom Otchere. Person Otchere say picture na da hono. Say ni pa korona no gina video no mo kasa. I'll be very surprised. Let me go back and then we watch it once again.
A lawyer. Go and stand and tell Galamsey people that if we win the election, you can come and continue your Galamsey. And then Ghana Water comes to complain about Galamsey, and the first person they talk about is the lands minister. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? This is the problem with our civil society people. Those who say they are civil society, this is the problem. This is the problem. The pastors who are talking about Galamsey, the most Reverend Adom. Have you heard Tony Aubynn? He's a member of the party that you sympathize with. And there's no problem with a pastor sympathizing with any political party. Even America's pastor, Billy Graham, sympathized with the Republican Party. So there's no problem with that. But if you are a pastor, you are sympathizing with a political party, you ought to know that your integrity is first. In terms of the analysis, maybe Adom hasn't heard it. I can understand that. He's a pastor, he's busy, he's managing a big church. Maybe he hasn't heard it. But now we've played the video, you've seen it. Tony Aubynn, that's what he told. Play the video for me again. And Tony Aubynn is the second speaker. Play the video again.
You see, I'm going to Obi said the land in this year. Obeka, Namebua, after on the 11th, on the 7th, and she said, at the mom, because on one of us, I got now. Said the Bay, you know, Brave or Bay, you might take a clay. Which would be not a Philippi. Also, that's how I like it. I'll be Hine. Now, so the Abba Yaguma. Now, so do Chrome no call for Friday. Eddie, and 2 hours for Twabana, John Daman Mahama, a 2 diet. Yeah, Pepe, you man, Galamsey, Ghana Betu Galamsey. And I do one aya no so see in another vanguard for no that over. And the players are crackers say, Yatu Abaya, Mubesa vanguard in Mukina. Yayan say, Emma by when the good man on the 7th, on the 8th, on the 9th. Yabana Mahama Unina, Mumramba.
Video, the second person or Casano. You could clearly see, say, when you're Dr. Tony Aubynn. So Dr. Tony Aubynn did not even feature in the second person, Paul Adom Otchere Ekano. You could see, say, Nipana or Kasano, and yet Dr. Tony Aubynn. A patch of Yan Santo video. So yet, Paul Adom Otchere, you see the platform, at the chabo, Dr. Tony Aubynn, Utimu say, I say, Papa, and our person, or say, any DKK. Simple as that.
And now, Mekano, Yami Adom. This is Yami Buana Mutama John Dramani Mahama. Namutama Abubakar Sadika. Namusi said, John Mama Adin Kunim. I got a Sadis Adin Kunim. Now to this one, Muyam Juma. Now, Musa, you will see her. So, Robert Asama. Musi who? If you are Tremor, Mayan Tabano, never more go by. Vanguard no Omunguno. Vanguard no Edaso. About 20 more my day. In my money, I who come on a Vanguard day. Oh, if you are Tremor, your Dutch about on a day.
Tony Aubynn, you heard him, viewers, you heard him. Very decent man, very, very decent man. Very knowledgeable, very intellectual. That's what he said. On the altar of politics, that's why I said that politics can destroy. On the altar of politics, wanting to show that he's the largest person under the umbrella, he told the Galamseyers that you should go, if we win the election, you are going to do your Galamsey. And this was to gain votes in 2020. Now, go and look at the votes tally in 2020. The New Patriotic Party lost the election in all the Galamsey areas. That's why Barbara Otchere is not in parliament. But Otchere is not in parliament. That's why Miracle Duka nearly lost. Because the MPP lost all the Galamsey areas because the Galamsey people were aware that Tony Aubynn told them that if the NDC were to win, they will continue with Galamsey. So they voted for the NDC. You can't blame them for that. They are doing their work. And the work is illegal, but that's how they survive. And Dr. Bawumia recently promised the Galamsey people a new way of working. He talked about a mining loan, mining profile, mining this, mining that. And they seem to be excited about it because you have to give them something to take them away from the pit because they are Ghanaians and they are entitled to a livelihood. But they cannot have a livelihood that is destroying water for the rest. What do sociologists say? The greatest good for the greatest number of people. That's what sociologists say. Every good, the greatest of it all, how we determine that a good is great is that that good is serving the greatest number of people. That's what they say, the greatest good for the greatest number of people. It's in anthropology as well. So the people are entitled to a livelihood, aren't they? They are Ghanaians, but can they continue to destroy the water for their livelihood? No, they cannot. So that's the point we're making. That Muhammadu Bawumia went to them and gave them something else. They seemed excited about it. Our report is that the Galamsey areas are excited about Muhammadu Bawumia's policy for them. And so, in September, civil society has been whipped to say that MPP is responsible for Galamsey. They should show us that they can do the Galamsey. They should take the soldiers to go and beat the Galamsey people. Yes, they may have to put some force in there, but the hypocrisy must be dealt with. First, deal with Tony Aubynn, because if you take the soldiers there now, Tony Aubynn will go and tell them that vote for NDC. When we vote for NDC, you do Galamsey. So they will be hiding away from the soldiers, waiting to vote for NDC, and that they will do Galamsey. Now, we should ask, what is the MPP's policy on Galamsey? What is the NDC's policy on Galamsey? Since the last 10 days, when the Galamsey story started, have you heard John Dramani Mahama speak about what he will do with Galamsey? They should ask him. He's the opposition leader. He's a former president under whose jurisdiction Aisha Wan did all the dirty that she did to Ghana. Everything Aisha Wan did.
Ghana, sometimes I've been wondering, say, Kenyans are some chiruniana on Tiasia. Na say atemdidie na nipa na betiase I have no idea. Paul Adom, you could see in this particular video say, hey, Dr. Tony Aubynn papa Attached. Yet in the video, no, Paul Adom knows that Dr. Tony Aubynn did not feature in the video. Yet he took his picture and then attacking him personally from A to Z, from A to Z. That is what Paul Adom did. Then he is jumping, say, hey, NDC time, Aisha Wan, started to say, I better Ghana ni, akwala 8 years kule ni say, and the NPP yechi Aisha Wan, Emma or suffer mouth for the country say, omuntimi nya Aisha Wan way because omoko pesika or China omunya. It is only in Ghana the problem bar. Abai biti ekumya so 8 years yet you get seasoned journalists biti se Paul Adom attacking the opposition at 8 years ago. I don't even get it. Maybe you have mentioned that here. So am I a fool? And as some people are foolish in Ghana who mentioned that here. O see Obi money home more than 8 years ago. Utu nipa no. Osai ba next election. Osai catch and say o money home more than yes I to obetiano. Yet every opportunity you get to complain, people complain in the society no. Now who this house born e kwa boss Aubynn that dan nkrofo. Mentioned that here. Yato Obama 8 years, 2 terms for president. Nana Adom Akufo-Addo any Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, hey, yeah, the Ghana shall want to govern Ghana and make Ghana better. When Timmy and yet. Nana Addo Nankasa saw for the country say Nana Addo backyard. When you couldn't you took them see oh. Nana Addo and Timmy refuse to say you know and I say you know. Yet Paul Adom gets the opportunity and then accuses NDC and John Dramani Mahama. Say it is rather John Mahama and Enfa policy. Is John Mahama the president? John Mahama is not the president. Nobody gives taxes to John Mahama. Taxes near the ma Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and then another Dr. Akufo-Addo. Paul Adom I know. I don't fault you because you are defending your position. You are more and then you are getting something. And you know say NDC bar would they go prosecute too. That is why you're doing all these kind of things. You know. Say Ghana Airport Company who see dia moje. Wouldn't say NDC bar you be prosecute too. So you are doing everything possible to defend yourself. Say the way you found go to prison. John Mahama na ubone sobono. Ono ne kosi sa teme na train na yama ko board chairman da hono. With me cut off flower a bugana for fasono. You know all these kind of things. Yet, what targeted Dr. Tony Aubynn was very known. Said Dr. Tony Aubynn is nowhere in that picture or in that video. He was nowhere to be found. But surprisingly, no, Dr. Tony Aubynn, through his lawyers, actually letter to come up Paul Adom Otchere say, hey, video na we the meaning be. Menka ho, do your checks well. Entino, brana be pa mecho, na nsema wakagum hu nyina firo Paul Adom Otchere say menka. Ose wonka. When the young person attempa Paul Adom Otchere edi Dr. Tony Aubynn, knowing very well say Dr. Tony Aubynn, I was saying lawyer, ohene o, any video num. Paul Adom Otchere knows very well. When the young person Paul Adom Otchere, chapa o chabo papa we.
Did to Heads Ghana was done when John Dramani Mahama was president of the Republic. Shouldn't the media be asking John Dramani Mahama questions? That have you heard that Aisha Wan is being prosecuted based on things she did when you were president? Were you aware that she was doing these things? If you become president again, what policy would you put in place so that the likes of Aisha Wan will not be able to exist and strive? Are we asking John Mahama that question? Or civil society is designed just to fight Akufo-Addo? Civil society is designed to fight Akufo-Addo. Then, when you are listening to the news, something that has nothing to do with auditing, then they say that also on the phone is the former Auditor General, Dom Levo. Then he's talking about something that he doesn't even understand. He's an auditor, he's a chartered accountant. Now they call him for everything anti-Akufo-Addo. They call Dom Levo. What kind of practice is this? What kind of practice is this? Everything. Dom Levo is answering questions on law.
Very
Dom
stupid.
Levo is asking questions on Supreme Court proceedings.
Very stupid talk here. Very foolish talk. I didn't expect this to come from somebody like Paul Adom Otchere. Paul Adom Otchere, again, say, so you're auditor, yeah, you can't be a lawyer. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, you're accountant, you can't be a lawyer. And you can't be an economist. Almost very, very childish talk. Very, very childish talk. Very, very childish talk. And these are the people like Ghana for Nyada, GTO, good evening, Ghana, now man for it. Yet the guy talks as if he's a class 1 equivalent to me. When you read Dr. Tony Aubynn's profile, you'll be shocked that Dr. Tony Aubynn is a lawyer because he in school, it had nothing to do with law. But Dr. Tony Aubynn is a lawyer. It is if you see Dr. Tony Aubynn, the former chief executive officer of Ghana Minerals Commission, that's what I'm saying. To the court, can you say, I don't know, you can minerals as now say, Gina court as DSM? No. I would have done Ghana pa Ghana say. Me I have a law background, I have international relations background, and I have tourism background. It is a China to me say make tourism asem, and I make law asem, and I make international relations asem. You cannot tell me say I don't know you. That is childish talk because I've taken my time to study. My shit out school baby. I have different fields make me approaching Niyama from different angles. But Paul Adom Otchere is telling us, you cannot do that. Ghana. Hey.
Procedure. Dom Levo is asking questions on political legitimacy. Dom Levo is asking questions or answering questions on everything that they think will generate something against Akufo-Addo. Dom Levo is there. So the whole civil society is against Akufo-Addo, and they have reneged on their responsibility to be a true civil society for the enforcement of the 1992 Constitution. It is for the enforcement of the 1992 Constitution. Tony Aubynn, let's start with him. If you jump Tony Aubynn, then you have not done any service to Ghana. Because that's what he said. He said it. That the people should do the galamsey. And they should vote for NDC. And that if they vote for NDC and they do the galamsey, NDC will come and allow them to do their work. That's what an intelligent man told galamseyers, so that they will get votes. Did they get the votes? Yes, they did. They did. Go to all the galamsey areas. NDC won everywhere. And that's what they've started again. Government should take the soldiers there. Clamp down galamsey makers. Tony Aubynn will go there in the night. He will wear his beautiful, expensive Lacoste like you saw him wearing. And his very nice spectacles. A very nice man. He will go there and go and speak fancy with them. And tell them that, hey, won't he? Azeno, galamsey no obeye. Into one to Obama John Dramani Mahama. You heard him say it. 8, 9, this. Vote for John Dramani Mahama. And then Tony Aubynn will come and help them to do the galamsey. Because John Dramani Mahama is president. This is how he wants to benefit from galamsey. He wants to benefit from galamsey by NDC being elected. Show me another politician who has said that. You won't find. You will find Tony Aubynn, and civil society say that they haven't seen it, they haven't heard it. What kind of Ghana are we building? What kind of Ghana are we building? You may not like Akufo-Addo. Me too. I don't like Kutu Achampong. But you can't take away from Kutu Achampong what he has done. Some people don't like Dr. Liman, but you can't take from Dr. Liman what he has done. Some people don't like J.J. Rawlings. A large number of people don't like J.J. Rawlings, but you can't take away from some. You may not like Akufo-Addo. But Godfrey Dami has showed you the statistics that in this Fourth Republic, no government has prosecuted on Galamsey than Akufo-Addo's government. You can't take that away from him. What you can take away from him is Tony Aubynn. Tony Aubynn is the one you can take. Tony Aubynn is the one you should be dealing with. As for Akufo-Addo, he has given you the details of what he has done with Galamsey. Bema Beyebi, one Beyenina. He tried to do his best. The Galamsey is a very complicated situation. But you have people like Tony Aubynn who are festering it underneath and hiding in the bush to go and talk to Galamseyers and tell them that they should come and do the Galamsey, because when they do the Galamsey, they will not do anything to them if John Dramani Mahama is president. No civil society, no media is questioning John Dramani Mahama. That Aisha Wan, everything Aisha Wan did was done in your tenure. She's now been convicted. Have you seen it? What is your reaction to the fact that Aisha Wan has been convicted? Given that everything Aisha Wan did was done in 2013, 14, 15, when you, John Dramani Mahama, was president of Ghana. Now it makes sense, that is it. Because Tony Aubynn, who is a bona fide member of the NDC, is telling the Galamseyers this for 2020's election. He should be arrested. Should be arrested and questioned by the police.
It's very surprising. Say Paul Adom Otchere. One will say, "What can't see the point he is trying to make?" Say Paul Adom Otchere is calling for Dr. Tony Aubynn's arrest. Ghana pana kromfo ti bi gida o say ono ko chi obi onye kromfo say ye nko chi obi onye kromfo. Paul Adom Otchere on live television telling the whole nation say Dr. Lawyer Tony Aubynn must be arrested. Paul Adom Otchere, of all people. And Paul Adom Otchere is telling Ghanaians, say, Aisha Wan was arrested and prosecuted and imprisoned because of activities in 2012, 2013, 2014, which you know is a lie. Paul Adom Otchere knows it's a lie. Aisha Wan prison order and China side by Ura Mayuno. Our best started activities, and that is why Aisha Wan is in prison. Paul Adom Otchere knows because time Aisha Wan under your administration now, send it back to China because China Aisha Wan was not prosecuted. Mujain is on call. Osafuma told Ghanaians they are not going to prosecute Aisha Wan because Ebasa Omoko China Omunyabosia. And Aisha Wan said, Ghana started activity. That is when they get hold of Aisha Wan, they prosecuted her. But Paul Adom Otchere is deceiving the whole nation, say, and the NDC's administration, they're prosecuting her. Oh, Nipa Bonini. My no, I say, Obi to me share that foul. Now, paint you black. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dr. Tony Aubynn tomorrow say he become the next president of Ghana because I know him personally. He's a fine gentleman. On Pekululu, on Pazan, on Pekrono. Until when Dr. Tony Aubynn is a president, I know. That video, there was nowhere Dr. Tony Aubynn. But let's watch the video once again.
Me again. And Tony Aubynn is the second speaker. Play the video again.
Oubynn said the land in this year. Obeka.
Of NDC is the first person. Then the second person will come. It was nowhere near Dr. Tony Aubynn. Paul Adom Otchere said the second speaker is Tony Aubynn. Kwaku of NDC is the first speaker. The second speaker will come.
After on the 11th, on the 7th, and she said, at the mom, because on one of us I got now. Said the Bay Union of Bray or Maya Jumata Clay. Which would be not a Philippi. Now, so that's how I was 1 month out of Kakoheim. Now, so the Abba Yaguma. Now, so do Chromo call for Friday. Eddie, and 2 Quaco to Abana, John Daman Mahama, a 2 diet. Yeah, I'm saying,
this is the second speaker. And here say Dr. Tony Aubynn or that picture is what.
And I do want to hear no to see another vanguard for no that over. And the players are crackers say, Yatua Baria, Mubesa, Vanguard in Mukina. Yayans now say, Emma by when the good man on the 7th, on the 8th, on the 9th. Yabba Mahama in Mumramba.
video you must say and yet Dr. Tony Aubynn, he was nowhere near that scene. But I'm surprised that Paul Adom will single him out and then tarnish his image. Now you have more opportunity to say, hey, somehow can Enyamia come and retract or say menye because you feel big. If you say court in the okwa obra amon de teho. Into media amount. Anyway, Dr. Tony Aubynn at the Paul Adom Otchere akojina court. I see you 30 million Ghana cedis. 30 million Ghana cedis. Or match the video num. Baby potia or who say or no Tony Aubynn ejina video num. Baby potia wo Paul Adom Otchere who say or no Dr. Tony Aubynn ejina video num no. Or say bra na bechere no. Nti ene or na ko jina sem ne say omra no mechere no because on jina video biam baby a na wo fasa video no e de dinatem Ghana politics baby e de do no asem bi wokora woni mo hwe na obi a hyeda apekiwo say or say wudi because they know say Dr. Tony Aubynn betima be running mate and say vice president or president of Ghana nti odi kan say na no da kwato internet so nti o chena oba no nko you ano a na say the same way e na bebo atia wo. But the doctor say, why are they? Look, why are they? Akwa we nko ade. When you need you so chire ni nyansa. Ko wan chire ni nyansa, obey na ho te say oyi nyansa fo. Me na na ka se me osi jimi ni kwase abu kwase a na ya. Enti se otena se na kwase a ebu kwase a ya. Enti ene da ho no. Omo se ba bi kuro potia wo in that said video no. Uhu say Dr. Tony Aubynn ginamo no bra na be yiwa no. Sometimes giant kwasiafo on the house because NDC no pe NDC eba power enti Paul what the power o to kurubim kwashe wo Paul Adom Otchere wo ye live show na akofa girl abet na wachi Kevin Taylor yin live video me yin hu ye wo ye live show on Metro Good Evening Ghana no na o girlfriend eti wachi na wo ye de fie so wo never be gina wo say wo ye nkwache koromfo. All right, 1 hour with the Munufi. Yan Tias will be a Megu and this in the Biahofi or Dabby. Oh, yeah, but Toto. Yan Tenassimon be going this in the Biahofi because who is a corona by a batchuntin or dodgy. As the cake will go be a woonims and Nipana or Castle video. Nipana has no idea, and you're not. See, anyway, let's move on. That's cool, dear. I'm prepared, Jimmy. What Jimmy? What Jimmy? Suku empepa Jimmy.
Eni mo say suku wo ho empepa Jimmy. What Jimmy e what Jimmy? Eni say suku empepa Jimmy. What Jimmy? What Jimmy? Enti suku kro ba bia oba tia dia kosi nyame ani empepa se what Jimmy? What Jimmy? Ya wo Jimfo a wo Jimfo.
Why Jimmy, oh Jimmy for away Jimmy for be beer my best son, be any William Munufi Amankona. This is 1 hour with Munufi Sana every for that is how we're gonna do it. But John, the 7th of December 2024, a few days. His Excellency John Dramani Mama. Any chin no. Okwa would see a zoo, not the CSA a za. That is how we're gonna do it. Because a quasiaphobia system no ya ram pamon fiwa. Omo di Jimmy neba boy in a pania me in a bed somo. So we need to tell them say there be what Jimmy, what could school can say where Jimmy, school name prepare Jimmy. A teacher, a queer idan, but tell catch it. If you have a there. That Yamiase, Gloria, the Lally, was why a life over me. I are there. All right, let's move on. And good morning, Ghana. Program the question na ti kukuru asa e kura bia obodo afede hu say na de na ekosi mamo poso show no e ka kire say say na police for ni nkurufo bi e na abo awura ho a on pesa mo force budan ni be wuram e kikiri o mantimi ama some of the security men kura no e prepare until after the show and a Paul Adom sometimes come in akwa we chikura see na me Randy Abe e ka kire say when an started program na so e started an pa bra no be started benefit kura be program na pa che yenti Randy ene nsema o ka kire
full of
policemen. Immediately I entered, the pickup just came in and blocked me. And then they got out and said that, look, they are here to enforce a court order. So they are seizing my car. I said, are seizing my car for what? Court order against you. They said, oh, they have a court order against Metro TV. That's right, but this car is not for Metro TV. So what do you mean? They said, oh, well, they have a court order. And I was on my way to start Good Morning Ghana to come and host my show. So apparently they are parked there waiting for me. If you have a legitimate court order and what you are doing is legitimate business, come and execute the order. Why are you looking for me? Why do you come and block my car? Why do you want to take my vehicle? Am I Metro TV? Am I a shareholder? Am I a director? And then you come here today and you come and all you want to do is to come and break into Good Morning Ghana when we are having a live program. Which court gave you that thing? Which court asked you to do that? Which court authorized you to do that? And you have armed policemen following them to do this foolish things. What kind of impunity is this? Okay,
Baby, the Ghana do no. And the Ghana no. What's the Ghana system? National dying terrorist. Terrorize the citizens no. System Ghana system no. A dying terrorist. And then one kasa terrorize the system. Nipa na mugumu no. Because ye didi ubia anka. Ye didi we inka. And no one say do Metro TV. What's the beba also? Ye the beba also. What one police for? I travel down here. Ye be check up system. Go. Soldier for police for bibia. Accra FM. They are go. Ade almost obi akaseti na nado yere defamation ye the police neche. Ghana lawyer muya na ye president o. President na what surprises me is the president a lawyer. And so system no adan terrorist and they terrorize citizens no. What kind of society are we building? As a Ghana no, opere the NDC for beje Ghana de kone ni ma na nkrufo wi abasa be twe Ghana de kone chi. Because all that they know they say akakaben sem ni kukuru sem bebre obi ho awon ti ase. Is that how we build a society? We don't build systems like this. And some nyina na say telecell say from Vodafone say omani Metro TV e wa asem e na omade asem na court. Say Metro for the 1.4 million Ghana cedis or something like that. And mama kwache court order. And they break Metro TV. Now they court order must you go and break the person's home and as an office. Now your live show, I could disrupt the whole live show. I could pray the person out the court order. And then you get police, stupid, foolish police people. I'm going to get two and for a question. Police in here, you can say, oh, now we are law enforcement officer. No. So, but Ghana, we have a problem because police need to be called police. We mention that the Ghana constitution. It is only in Ghana. And there will be police at the Ghana constitution. Enti one dia onima ne buga na tete police there ebo ama money bi say Jimmy Semna na Ghana police as we speak no omoye. They say we police service, we police force. But we've been telling police people all these kind of things. They apply common sense. Obi ko police a mon kire ne mbra na e wo man no. And surprisingly no, nipa na o lead this an kwase police for no is a lawyer. He knows. So when you go break into somebody's office because you're going to deliver a court order, and a court order, no, you break Oubynn and send it to and I must you go and see somebody's car. But Ghana, anyway, I'm finding this minor say because a giant crophobia will be demanding in him. And I do minimum a kakabensem. Enti name kwasi asemu ya mukoyi most start for UTV. Decide Jimmy 7 NPP4 kwasi asemu kwa. Because judges need to win other politicians. Kofa judge or contest NPP parliamentary tickets on so many occasions. NPP chairman now they got ten benches wa ne obaya no kwasia others nkwa. Court corona bi ne ma kwa ma Samira Baumia bra ko bubu Kennedy Japan madam for fie to go free for nothing. Dear mine. It's a Ghana system na kasa time terrorist and terrorizing nipa e o mine. We don't apply rule of law because you are prayer Ghana from 70s about the democracy but under this administration the Ghana no who say your Ghana say you don't even know system not say what na say na we hwe modin a e ba wasem abra busan fonti ne we dem besi wa ha nyame ya Adom Otchere I'll be on time na yaba behwe system no aboa magana ayeyi.
What tina Ghana ha emfianson as MPP ni ya mfesika mesho unsem oba padwuma wanya bi wan kasa padwuma wanya bi enne ya huza hunya ya disika brown sa kokoto aba mani pasmesi mesram mo mama dwene na ho obia ho ka kira se koto mani pasmesi na disika koto no e kire se watina ni fie asudaye ehu se sabe wodie wo kire wo kom emfianson a no wadwena dasen kuto oba ne so disika hye onsama no wadwena nane na wakoto aba ma no otuma no a etise light off aba no waso candle light ni ba on pe na wadum no emfianson fie nwatwi wo hunu biem.
All right, inti Honorable Kennedy Ohene Japan say abato ayekotui the message of them Ghana for no. Say what the Otchere Ghana now say near ya there for the last 7-8 years ye into beto abana ma NPP a wan kasa wasem. O say ya to say lights so now I saw candles in who ya bo what no count. Oto abama Alhaji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia the next 4 years the other way on Kennedy Japan ka chiro no. Kennedy Japan sometimes some of the words he uses no I know say he chooses them very very carefully. And it's all got up now. John Dramani Mama now so the Kwakuma Alhaji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia Kennedy Japan message on the man. That is the last message I made down there. Tell for me Ken Eja Okwan Nyame Adoma Otchere Ibisia me din any William Munufie amankona program air 1 hour with Munufie. Me dawase. Bye bye.
What tina Ghana ha emfianson as MPP ni ya mfesika mesho unsem oba padwuma wanya bi wan kasa padwuma wanya bi enne ya huza hunya ya disika brown sa kokoto aba mani pasmesi mesram mo mama dwene na ho obia ho ka kira se koto mani pasmesi na disika koto no e kire se watina ni fie asudaye ehu se sabe wodie wo kire wo kom emfianso a no wadwena dasen kuto oba ne so disika hye onsama no wadwena nane na wakoto aba ma no otuma no a etise light off aba no waso candle light ni ba on pe na wadum no emfianso fie nwatwi wo hunu biem.